We're going to be talking in the next few videos about adding whole numbers, and this is probably the most basic of all ideas, but it's also one that you really have to understand in order to move forward. So before we actually work an example or two, we're going to start with some terminology, things that you may not have heard before or been aware of, but they're important terminology. Okay, when we add two things together, for instance, 2 plus 3 equals 5, we may or may not have realized that those have very special names. The 2 and the 3 are called the add-ins, and the 5 is called the sum, or it could also be called the total. So those are important vocabulary words to know. Now, we also have some properties that allow us to be able to do different things with addition. And these are very important properties for you to be aware of and to know the name of and understand how they work. So our first property is the commutative property of addition. And the commutative property says that the order does not matter, meaning you can add things in any order you want to. 2 plus 3 is the exact same as 3 plus 2. So we could actually flip-flop the order, and it still comes up to be the exact same answer. Now, we also have the associative property of addition, and with the associative property, we reassociate items. So, for instance, here we have something that says 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 2 plus 3 plus 4. Now, the only thing that is different in here, they're in the exact same order, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. But instead, we've regrouped or reassociated these items. Here, we're going to add the 2 and the 3 first, and then add the 4. Now, because of order of operations, that's what the parentheses tells us, which we will study order of operations later on a little bit more extensively. But in the right-hand side, it says we're going to add the 3 and the 4 first, and then add the 2. Now, we will get the exact same answer no matter which way we do it. 2 plus 3 would give us 5, plus 4 would be 9. But now, if we look at the right-hand side, this says add the 3 and the 4 first. So 3 plus 4 would be 7. And then if we add the 2, that would be 9. Now, these are the exact same thing. So again, it has a lot to do with, you can add in any order that you want to, and it doesn't make a difference. But to keep those two properties straight, you always want to remember that the commutative property, they switch, flip-flop order. So it's kind of like commuting back and forth to work. You go from point A to point B, and then you turn around and go from, maybe I shouldn't say A to B. You go from home to work, and then you turn around and go from work to home. And it's the exact same travel. With the associative property, you reassociate items. So that has to do with parentheses and grouping things together in a different way. The order doesn't change, only regrouping the items. The last property that we need to talk about is called the addition property of 0. Now, 0 is a very, very important thing for addition. It's actually called the identity under addition. And if you think about what that means, just think about your identity. Your identity does not change, even though maybe you may be wearing a different outfit, or you may be at home or at work or at the movie theater or anything like that. Your identity doesn't change. Well, the identity for mathematics, or especially for addition, is what you would add to something, and it doesn't change the item. So, for instance, like we have two examples here. 5 plus 0 is 5, or 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 is what you add to something, and it doesn't change it. So remember, 0 is called the identity, and that is called the addition property of 0, meaning you can add it to anything and it doesn't change it.